friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather, and today we're going to talk about some fall romance books that I am dying to read. So this video is just 10 books that I'm really interested in. I really have just been craving some romance and like some fall romances. So for me, some of the books that come to mind are books that are set in maybe like a small town. Fall is very cozy to me, and like just, I don't know, something about small towns and fall, just they go together. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I just love Gilmore Girls, and Stars Hollow kind of is, I don't know, fall and small town vibey, I don't know. But that's kind of a common theme. Also, like, books that are set in like a school or academic type setting definitely scream fall to me, because everybody's going back to school. That's kind of a big thing happening in the fall, and I feel like that kind of works here as well. And I think a couple of these are more books that are coming out in fall that for whatever reason I'm getting some good vibes, and are kind of just some fun fall romance. Like, I really want to read some of these so bad. So hopefully I can get to some of these. Before we jump into all of these goodies, I would absolutely love if you would get down below, click subscribe if you haven't already. Also, Instagram and Goodreads links are down there too, so we can talk bookish on those platforms as well. And let's go ahead and jump into the books. So if you guys are not watching Chelsea Palmer, she has a booktube channel, and I got a lot of these small town romance recs from her. I'll try and find the video and link it down below for you guys, but some of these just sound wonderful, and one of them is the Coppersmith Farmhouse. It's like a series of standalones where we're following different like brothers in a family, I believe. But in this one, it's the first one, and we're following Gigi, and she unexpectedly gets this gift of this farmhouse. So she ends up moving her and her daughter out to this small town in Montana, and they happen to run into this sheriff out there who, I guess this farmhouse used to be like his kind of getaway, and he feels like it should have been given to him, but he is not expecting this beautiful, sexy, smart-witted woman, and so they're kind of clashing over the fact that they both want this farmhouse, but also, like, it's a little more brewing. So this next one I think is in a small town, but I could be incorrect because it doesn't specifically say, but the vibes I'm getting seem small townish to me. We also have a really big kind of food theme happening, and I feel like it would be a really like cozy, fun romance for this fall, and it's called Love's Recipe by Mila Nix. And in this one, we're following Rosalie. She's recently divorced, single mom. She moves back to her hometown in Louisiana, and she gets this job at a Creole cafe doing some waitressing, and the cafe isn't doing great, so she's like, I'm gonna come up with some plans to save this place, and then the owner, he kind of was just gonna kind of let things keep going the way they were, and so Rosalie's like, no, I'm gonna interest into this whole cooking competition, and so then the owner has to like teach her how to cook all this big menu that she's making up, and so they kind of are trying to save this business, and in the meantime, some feelings come up. So this next one is Flock by Kate Stewart. I have read a book by her before, and I enjoyed it. And I saw Jessica from Peace Love Books reading this, and I was intrigued. I still don't fully understand exactly what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's set in like a smaller town in the wilderness area somewhere. I don't know, on the cover you can see lots of pine trees and stuff. So we have this girl who basically, basically how everybody grows up is that, great love requires sacrifice and a martyr, and she, grew up believing this, and she's like, no, I'm going to just negate that fairy tale, and I don't know, things go another direction from there. So it's set in this town called Triple Falls, and the men are a little different there or something, and something about her love story with them, or something. I don't know. I don't know a lot of details here, but I'm intrigued because Jessica liked it, and I just remember watching her blog and being like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool, and I've read by this author before, and it seems like it's in a small town, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's throw this in. TBR time. The next one that is giving me some good fall vibes is Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. And this one just seems like it's just really fun. It seems like it has a small town vibe as well. As you can tell, I kind of like this. I'm pretty sure this is another series of standalones where you're following different brothers in the family. So in this one, Jessica, she has always had a thing for one of these twin brothers. We have Beau, who is very outgoing and sociable, and then we have Dwayne, who is a little bit more of the brooding type, and he's kind of more the grump or whatever in the two of them. And so she's just always been super infatuated with Beau, and then there's some weird mistaken identity moment, and she realizes that there's more to Dwayne than she realized, and maybe she's getting under that little brooding skin a little. So I don't know, sounds really cute and fun, and I just want to check that one out too. So the next one that I've got is more of that school setting, and this one's called Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones. I've heard great things about this author's romances. I'm excited to try her out. And in this one, we're following a grad assistant. I think she takes a job as a grad assistant, and she runs into this student that, like, they don't have the greatest first encounter, I don't think, but she's like, wow, he's really hot. And then this student who is returning back to school, I think he's in his later 20s, and he isn't out to look for love. He's trying to figure out his degree, but again, running into her, he's like, wow, okay, she's hot. And kind of a relationship ensues between the two of them, obviously, because it's a romance. This next book is, again, kind of in that school setting, and that's The Chase by Elle Kennedy. I've also heard and been recommended reading some of her romances, and I'm excited to do that. So in this one, our main character is rooming with her brother's, like, best friend or something, and he's made it very clear that, like, nothing more is going to happen between them, and he just sees her as brother's sister, or his best friend's sister, and she usually doesn't like his type, but she can't deny that there are definitely some sparks that are flying between the two of them. So kind of, I believe it's a sports romance, but I'm not sure what sport or where that kind of comes into this, and I don't know if sports romances really would be my thing, but I am curious to try it out. This next book kind of doesn't fall into a ton of these categories. It did just come out, I believe, in the fall here, or it's coming out really soon, something like that. But that's the X Hex by Erin Sterling. But this, like, is about witches, and so it's perfect for this time of year. And I think it sounds super adorably cute. We're basically following this one girl. She gets her, like, heart broken, and so she decides to, like, cast a spell on the guy that, like, broke her heart. And she's not supposed to do this. And then I think he moves out of town, but then he, like, moves back into town, and then all these weird things start happening, and it's because she cast this spell, and she didn't really think it was going to do anything, but it definitely had some consequences, and they're trying to figure it out. So I'm pretty sure this is a second chance romance, which I love. So I'm really excited about that. The other two before this have kind of an opposites attract, I believe, to them, Getting Schooled and The Chase, and another trope that I really enjoy. So yeah, these just all sound right up my alley, and I'm so excited. This next one is also coming out this fall, and that is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Aramis. Aramis? Armis? I'm going to go Armis. In this one, we have an enemies to lovers type trope, which I adore, and we also have some fake dating, which sometimes can work for me and sometimes doesn't. But we have our main character, her family thinks that she has a boyfriend now, and her brother or sister or somebody's getting married in Spain, and so her, like, natural enemy that's always, like, harping on her volunteers to go as her fake date to this wedding out in Spain, and she's like, I can't really, like, say no because my family's expecting somebody to be there with me, and I'm assuming she just kind of gets herself into a spot. And so they go along on this trip to Spain to her family's wedding, and you know, obviously they may not be enemies for long. This next one is kind of another one of those school setting ones, and I haven't really heard many people talk about this, so I'm hoping to maybe find an underrated gem here. So this one is Kirby Girls Can't Date Quarterbacks, and it's by Kelsey Stelting. Apparently last names are not working right now. Anyways, so in this one, our main character is plus size, and we have this mean girl who's like, oh, you know, fat people should just like lose weight, right? And so our main character, she's like, no, I'm pretty sure that I can be the way I am happily. And so she gets herself into a situation where basically she needs to get the quarterback to date her and take her to homecoming. And so schemes are coming around, and she's trying to get the quarterback to take her to homecoming. And it's rated pretty well on Goodreads. I've heard good things about it from, I think I got this from Alita's channel, Alita in the Book. So I would like to try it out and see what I think. And that kind of starts us into YA, which I don't have a ton of on this list, but I have that one and one other one, which is Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. I have read 3 other Jen Bennett books, and although they are not like all-time 5-star favorite reads for me, I still tend to enjoy them, and she has some kind of different storyline kind of going into each one, so I tend to enjoy them, and I'm curious as to see how this one goes. This one I think came back out late last year, so it's been almost a year that it's been out. So our main character is a budding photographer, and her mom end up moving back to the town, her like hometown, and it's set in like New England area of the US, which I have heard has very beautiful fall weather, and like the trees are just really gorgeous out there during this time of year, so it could have a really fun fall setting actually. But our main character, so yeah, she's kind of this budding photographer, and when she goes back to town, she has a run-in with the town's bad boy, but then she kind of finds out that maybe he's a little bit more than when she left, and maybe sparks are gonna fly a little bit. So that's about all I got right now with that one. Just from past experience with Jen Bennett's books, I tend to just have a nice light enjoyment time, and she still tends to have something just fun going on with her books, and they're just enjoyable to read. So there it is. There's 10 romance books that I'm dying to get to this fall. I don't know that it's actually gonna all happen this fall, but they're there. I'm interested. I feel like they give some good fall vibes, and I'm hoping that I can definitely read at least a few of them. Let me know if you guys have read any of these and recommend that I get to them first, or any other like romance books that you feel like have fall vibes that you're like, yes, definitely read this one. I am always on the outlook. I'm always on the lookout for some good recommendations, and definitely down below, leave me some little hearts for our romance here, and I will talk to you guys super soon.